They're both high-level wrestlers. They're very different styles. I feel like Usman, at least now, we know Chimaev has kind of gone back to the drawing board and built his striking skills up after the Burns fight. But Usman's been consistently getting better and cleaner, more technical. I would probably pick Usman. Usman's huge. Usman has the wrestling to negate Chimaev's skills. He's known for that one-shot knockout power. I think he'd definitely clean up Khamzat, but I won't bet the house on it just yet because Chimaev is still, we don't know how much he's improved. He seems to have been doing a lot of striking training, and he seems to have learned kind of, maybe I can't stand and bang with these guys. So if he plays that long distance, fakes his shots, and clips Usman, it could be.
What do you think about the Volkanovski?
Oh my God.
The last fight was close. So
the last fight was close. I feel like, maybe I'm popular, but I'm going with Volk. I'm going with Volk. Not just because he's the underdog, but Volk strikes me as a guy with insane work ethic, and I know for a fact as soon as that fight was done, he's already plotting. What could I have done differently? What did I mess up? What did I do well? And so, although it's 10 days notice, I feel like he's been ready for this fight since the day after. So I'm going with Volk. I think he's got it.
Thank you. I like it.
I think Volkanovski. I'm going for Volkanovski. I don't know if it's for sure. It could be either or. Volkanovski and Usman. Usman coming for that double champ status. You know what I mean? Coming back. I think he's hungry because he don't have a lot of stress on him being a champ, and he's hungry back on that contender, level. So him and he has all the skills to beat Chimaev or whatever his name is. Chimaev.
What do you think about Volkanovski? You think he's got the skills to get the W?
Volkanovski has all the skills. It just, man, you never know, man. He just came off surgery. He just, he is 7, I don't know how many days, 7 days, 8 day notice, 13 days notice, whatever. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off, but if anybody's going to pull it off, it's him, man. And he showed the last fight. He's a dog. I think he might be. Volkanovski, for sure.
That fight with the full camp, but I think Usman being a champion for so long, he has that 5-round experience, and he can bring that into a 3-round fight. I think it's gonna be really competitive, especially at 185. He's not cutting the weight. It's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see. I think Hasman's gonna come out like a crazy person, and I think it's gonna be similar to Gilbert Burns versus Usman, where Usman had to weather the fire for a bit and then cool it down and then take over. I think it might be something similar to that, and he won't let Khamzat get the momentum later on in the second and third, and he can keep the pressure going forward. And let's see how the wrestling plays out between both of them. That's the real part that's gonna be fucking fun to see. Excuse my language, sorry. But that's what I'm really looking forward to. See how that wrestling really plays out in the second and third round. As they get scrambled and stuff like that.
Now Islam versus Volk, how would you feel about that one?
You know what? I'm hearing Volk say like the first time it was like the big man versus smaller man. They can't. Everyone said he couldn't do it, and he almost did it. And now it's like Islam versus Volk, 2 weeks notice, if that, he can't do it. So it's that again, it's that level of anticipation, like, can Volk really do it, can pull it off? Yeah. I think he can pull it off again. Being a champ for so long, having 5-round experience so many times. He just fought in August, right? Late July, early August. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be there, and I think he's gonna be in his space for the first 2-3 rounds and maybe forward, and we'll see how Volk actually plays forward. And Islam plays off from everything he learned from the last fight. I think Islam wants to get some stuff off. He lost.
But also, that's why I'm not a bet man, because also, they're both moving up from welterweight, so whatever. I guess that's my answer. Bet me the best man win. God bless them.
Volkanovski, you got the rematch of Volkanovski and Makhachev.
I think this one, I think I have a little more fine-tuned opinion. Islam might have the upper hand here because but Volkanovski has been preparing like he's not ever, not in fight camp, right? I feel like he's always ready. Maybe Volkanovski taking it on short notice and not necessarily having an entire camp surrounded around Islam. Maybe that might be his undoing in this fight. Maybe that might be the reason Islam prevails again. Not to say he handed him the first time. He could have went to anyone the first time. So I think if I was to bet on that one, Volkanovski.
And you, how do you feel? Either one, Usman, Chimaev, or Volk and Islam?
I believe with Usman and Hamzat, I believe I would lean toward Hamzat just based on the preparation. And I think Hamzat, his wrestling is so good. I think he had a little bit of trouble with Burns, but I think he made proper adjustments. I think he'll be a little heavier. I think he'll be more filled out at 85. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Hamzat for sure.
Volkanovski fight, what are you looking at on that one?
On the Volk and Islam, I'm actually going to lean towards Volk just because based off the first fight, I believe Volk had the odds against him, and he did very well under those circumstances. I think he's going to come in with more confidence this time and get the job done. Close, but
how do you think it goes down? Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's hard to say. Could go either way. I think it's going to be very competitive. I can't say who I think will win. I don't know. I could see it going either way. But I don't know. If people think Chimaev is just going to go and steamroll this guy, I think that is a mistake. Because Kamaru's got a good jab and Kamaru can wrestle. And I just don't see how Chimaev is going to impose his will in the grappling aspect. I don't see it. But who knows? It's going to be an exciting one to tune into, that's for sure.
Islam versus Volkanovski. Now, that one was kind of close. They just released the stats. It was, so what do you think?
Volk is one of my favorites to watch, so I guess in that aspect I would say Volk. It was just biased opinion. But, I don't know, come in short notice, 5-round fight. He's going to have to put him out because what's his name? Islam is gonna have the cardio advantage, I'd imagine. So yeah, both of them are gonna be great fights. That's for sure.
Yeah, what I'm gonna on that. How would you say you feel about that fight with Usman and Chimaev?
So Usman versus Chimaev. I think Usman is, he's been a champion and he's been used to training championship rounds, championship fights. So I feel like he's very underrated coming into this fight. I don't know what people think Chimaev is going to out-wrestle Usman. Usman wrestles, man. Chimaev had a really hard time against Gilbert Burns. Usman knocked out Gilbert Burns. I just feel like it's going to be the same for Chimaev. Chimaev's going to try everything he can to get Usman down, but Usman's a wrestler, but he got power in his hands. I think he's going to knock Chimaev out.
What do you think about Islam? You got Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a close fight, sort of, but the stats just came out. So what do you feel about that one?
So for the first time, Islam versus Volk, I thought Volk won and they got robbed. And I think he knows he got robbed too, because if you watch the walk back to the cage, he was so disappointed with the decision and he was like down on himself. He shouldn't have lost that fight. I think a well-rested, well-recovered, clear-headed Volk going in to fight Islam, he's not out of shape. He's a champion as well. He's the number one fighter in the world. John Jones is not there. He doesn't fight enough. Volk is the number one fighter in the world. He's going to fight Islam, and this time they're going to give him the decision. I got Volk.
Thank you.